What Jasper is doing, Jasper is also a podcast host. What's the name of your podcast, Jasper?
Jasper Basson, Accounting, Tax and Habits.
Jasper Basson, Accounting, Tax and Habits. Okay, so if you guys have Instagram, follow Jasper on his Instagram account. He posts his video clips on there, and give his podcast a listen. Okay, he covers really good content and thought-provoking things that we can really easily apply to like he says, to form better habits. And that's a large part of why we have Jasper inserted there, because I know for one, I need to form better habits that stick, not 2 weeks going hot, 3 weeks going hot, and then back to square one. But I want to really this year change the game, and I know that's going to start with, have you heard that thing of start by making your bed?
Exactly.
So I want to really start with the first small steps this year and really change the game for good for myself. Really unleash my potential, and I feel like we all want to do that, right? We all want to do better than we did last year and the year before. So we're going to start this year off with a topic expert giving us some insight and some tips on how to form better habits. This is Jasper Basson, as I said. Jasper does a keynote. Where I first met him, he was doing a keynote for Talk to Sales with Tam and Murat.
That's correct.
And the Jasper's keynote is called Daily Habits and Morning Rituals.
That's right.
Okay, so Jasper is also the financial director, by the way, of Lead Optimizers.
Maybe I can just introduce myself.
Yeah, please do that, because there's so many things this guy does. Yeah.
Not really. I really believe in doing the vital few. But yeah, as you mentioned, I started beginning of last year, I've started a YouTube channel actually called Jasper Basson, Accounting, Tax and Habits, giving back to my current clients that I do have at Dryk Holdings, that I will just tell you about in a second. But I started this interviews with really inspiring entrepreneurs, celebrities, influential individuals, and talking to them about their morning rituals and daily habits, which I'm very passionate about. And like you say, how you start your day is, how you start your morning is how you will end your day as well. So yeah, so that was really just more of a project of giving back.
Yeah.
Adding value. I didn't expect anything to come back from that, even though they, like anything, when you throw good seed into the ground, you will always benefit of the reap benefits.
100%.
But that wasn't really the intention from the start. It was really just to add value. So, but my story begins I'm an accountant for almost 2 decades already, working with small business owners. I started my own practice, Dryk Holdings, in 2006. And where I've seen a lot of the good and the bad and the ugly of entrepreneurship, and I experiencing myself as well in various businesses, being an entrepreneur as well. And and that's also part of being on this on my show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, on the YouTube channel, is really to give back all that knowledge that I've accumulated over time in almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
And then, just lastly, I'm the financial director of Lead Optimizer. That's really actually the opposite of being an accountant.
Okay.
When you generate niche market business leads for various businesses.
Okay. We're going to touch more on lead optimizers at the end of our conversation, because there's some specific things that I would like to know about that. But in 2006 I was in grade 9. So guys, you know how valuable it is if you have someone that while you were sitting in the high school desk, this guy's been learning the hard lessons, and now he's actually willing to share them with you. That's a big win, right? And that's why I find so much value, and I appreciate when guys who have walked the walk like Jasper come there, like they're willing to share what they've learned, right? And I am all ears always, right? So Jasper, where would you like to start? What would you first like to share with us today about forming those daily habits that are really going to set us up for a max out year?
I think the biggest problem that we have every year is that we form New Year's resolutions, very excited about it.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking the truth.
Yeah.
For the first about not even a month, first week or two, we're very excited, we're going for it, and slowly but surely it deteriorates, and we're just not excited about it anymore. We go back to the old habits.
Yeah.
And
sorry, that's when we see the memes coming up. January was a trial month, when New Year starts Feb. Never happens. Never happens.
Oh, 2018 was my trial year, and 2019 I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And you see it every year on all kinds of social media and things.
Yeah.
So, and obviously the bad habit is the easy thing to go back to and fall back to. So first thing I always tell, I'm an instructor for martial arts as well, and I always tell the students in the beginning of the year, just remember, everything that's easy today was hard yesterday, and everything that's hard today will be easy tomorrow.
Wow.
So if you keep going, everything will get easier, and we don't grow when we don't go out of our comfort zone.
I love that. Yeah.
So that's something I always remind, almost every class I remind the students, keep going, because whatever's hard today, if you train hard today and it feels like everything I just trained to
everything is breaking
to pieces, tomorrow it will be easy. And I remind them of where have you been and where are you now, and for them also to reflect back on that actual words of
one thing that you said now, where have you been and where are you now? You know what can really demotivate someone, and this has happened to me personally. That's why I know, and I can bring this across with so much passion. When you know that you've come a long way, but now you come across someone else who's maybe a bit younger than you, or even not, maybe just another person, but they're doing so much, or they're so much further down along the line, right? So now you're like, wow, look at this guy's at, look where this girl's at, like, look where I'm at, like, I want to be there too, and you feel so demotivated because you want to be there now, right? Instead of being like, well, look at my journey. I started on block -20, right? I'm on block 10 now.
Exactly.
Because that person might have started on block 5. You know what I mean? It doesn't. But the what I want to get to is always focusing on your journey and where you are and the progress that you're making, right?
Most definitely.
Because
you can't compare yourself to other people, even in the same industry. That's the biggest mistake I think business owners and entrepreneurs also do. Is that they compare themselves so much to their competition that they forget to opt into morning rituals and grow themselves and develop themselves and be creative about their own unique ideas. Be authentic. And I think that's the biggest issue with entrepreneurs as well these days, that they want to try to I want to play like that specific Springbok rugby player, or I want to be like that entrepreneur that's on Instagram or whatever, where he is. So I think that's important to really focus on your own authenticity and your own growth, and be your own great person, and people will find value from that. Everybody won't find value from you, but we choose our tribe, and we send out certain vibrations of energy, and we will attract those
100%.
people.
100%. I agree with you. I agree with you so much. You know, last year we had a discussion, and we brought up the book Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek, and in that book he talks about how dopamine is there to motivate us to perform better, to develop, to achieve that goal, right? And I feel like if we, and this is more of a question to you, I feel like if we set goals, right, the way to get there is the daily habits, right?
Yes.
So now I have huge goals, right? And I know more or less what I need to do to get there every day. And out of those 9 things that I have to do every day, it's a good day if I get to 6 of them, right? So you don't tick all the things off your boxes, which means now you don't get that surge of dopamine, which causes you to feel motivated and to keep going. So now you feel less motivated the next day, so you do even less of those things, right? So my question to you is, Jasper Basson, help me. What can I implement to keep the momentum going, to get all the things ticked every day? What have you done that's worked for you?
Okay, so we're going to get to the morning rituals because I think your morning routine is really the core of setting up your day for a really beautiful day, for a beautiful week and a beautiful life.
Okay.
But let's go to the dopamine hits because that's a quite interesting point that you mentioned. And
okay.
We all wake up every morning with a certain bandwidth, cognitive bandwidth, and we can only process and do that much.
Uh-huh.
So when I wake up in the morning, and typically 95% of us, we wake up every morning and the first thing we do, we pick up our phone.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So, and as we go through our day, we constantly process and consume social media, which tap our bandwidth a lot. And if we don't protect that bandwidth, within the course of the day, our bandwidth is gone. And we spend our best time of our day looking at being busy with stuff that we consume that's not really important.
Wow.
And we don't really process and pursue our dreams because we don't really have the energy or the time anymore to do that. So a quick tip maybe so especially for entrepreneurs is, again, we're going to talk about the morning part, but when you get to work from 8 to 1 every day, put off your cell phone. Block all noise from outside. And really just focus on that.
Just produce.
And there's a lot of people advocate the first 90 day or the 90-minute rule, but it's really that first hour and a half in the morning that you really spend on that really one thing that will change your world and will change the industry. And so I think that's the real first tip that I can give somebody, that for the next 3 months, 6 months, really focus on that first hour and a half from 8 to 9:30 and really focus on that one dream that you want to pursue and you want to reach. Put off all your electronic devices, don't look at your emails, just go for that one dream. But then also from 8 to 1, really focus on income producing activities, and again, all the projects that you actually want to do. And then from 1 you can take a break and you can do meetings and call clients back and spend some time replying to WhatsApps and social media, which is, everything is important, but there's merely a time of having chunks of the day that you really focus on that kind of activities, but the best time of the day, really focus on you and producing, and that including clients as well. A lot of my 8 to 1 is producing financial statements, accounting, kind of related work for my clients. But that's income producing and it's value adding information and jobs that I need to do.
It's cool.
Core work. So, and then also maybe emails. My emails are set up with the autoresponder stating that I will respond in 2 chunks of the day, in the morning and in the late afternoon. So people do expect me not to reply maybe instantly, but that's the way I think we ourselves, and that's maybe another point. Sorry, I gave you a lot. I promised you one point.
Yeah, can we just, before we move on to that
point?
Okay,
no worries.
You mentioned something now. You mentioned the word focusing in that time, right? To focus. And early in the week, I posted a piece of content on my personal Instagram account, and I said it was related to a quote that I saw earlier in that day, and it said, "Every bird manages to find shelter in the rain, but the eagle avoids rain by flying above the clouds." Right. So I went on to expand that a bit. Now I was like, we all face challenges and everything and whatever, but we can either choose to allow those things to push us in different directions whenever they come up, or we can choose to rise above it through focus and discipline and that kind of thing. So focus is one thing, and what's exciting is everybody can develop discipline and we can develop focus. And I am actually naturally a very focused person, because I'm a very competitive person, very intense person. But in the past 2 years, I have caught myself doing the the many tabs open thing, right? So this relates to a documentary I saw called Digital Cocaine. So you have all these tabs open, and those of you who work on PCs, you'd know you have 10, 20 tabs open, and you, in the middle of typing an email, you remember, oh, has that other page loaded? So you click on the other tab and check, has that page loaded? Then you come back and your train of thought is all the way gone. Now you have to read the whole paragraph. And so we do everything in that fashion. So I am not as productive as I can be. I get fairly, I get things done, but not as fast as I should, and not at the rate, not as much as I could per day, because my focus is so split. And exactly that, you respond to WhatsApps. Now, big mistake, because that WhatsApp just asks you to do an additional thing. Now another tab goes open, right? So you answer your phone, it's just too much at once. So I love the fact, and actually I feel like I want to say, it kind of takes balls to be like, I'm unavailable until 1 o'clock. Because you kind of feel like people, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you kind of feel like you don't have the luxury to cut yourself off. You have to be available, and your clients have to be able to get in touch with you all the time, because it's so competitive out there. I almost feel like I need to be available 24/7 to them. Otherwise they could just, But I do realize there's also a relational aspect to it, But yeah, so I feel like it's kind of a ballsy move to be like, okay, I'll get back to you after 1. You know what I mean? But I can see the value in that. I can see the impact that may have. That's big.
I think the value, the important part is just don't to alienate your clients. So they need to understand, and most of my clients do understand now that that's my part, that's my day, that I really focus. But do respond to that communication after 1.
Yeah.
So take the rest of your day with, almost want to say, more relaxed activities that you don't need your brain power that much. But respond to each and every phone call. Respond to each and every WhatsApp that you need to.
Yeah.
Respond to your digital media if you're actually controlling that yourself. And you don't have like somewhere like spiral social media.
Yeah.
So
big ups. That's my social media agency, by the way. Thanks, Jasper, for the plug.
No problem. I'll take the commission check later.
Oh yes, of course. The lead optimizer never stops.
So it's merely just to protect your own time.
Yeah.
And if you don't protect your time, somebody else will make sure they run your day. So I think that's the important part. It's not really to run away and hide and sit in coffee shops and play. It's really to focus your mind. And maybe there's some science behind slowing down. The prefrontal cortex that's in our brain is the part of the brain that's there for creativity, inspiration, it's there for reasoning, and it's really active when we slow down. So when we slow down, being solitude for that chunks of the day between 8 and 1, the office don't leave me alone. I can really focus on my prefrontal cortex actually slow down, and the moment that slowed down, you can actually be creative, you are inspired. So just a bit of science, and people can actually go read Google on that, and they will find a lot of inspiring information right on that, and they will understand.
It's not just a preference or an opinion, there's actually scientific logic behind this.
Yeah, I mean, if you can take it to a place, I know you've Sharon, you go forest bathing.
Yeah.
I saw you on Instagram some time ago.
Yeah.
Posting that. That's an amazing way of slowing down your prefrontal cortex. And I mean, if you think about the time that you spent in the forest, and the time you spent on being on a holiday.
Even thinking about it now is making me
exactly, I can see. I'm gonna lose you now. Being on a holiday and being on a breakaway from your normal place of work, it all boosts creativity. And if you think about it, and if you listen, think about it, all the times that they be very creative is the time that they
chilling.
Chilling.
Yeah.
The prefrontal cortex slow down and they actually get so creative and think about new ideas for their business.
Yeah.
My wife, when we go away, she always have new ideas of running a business.
Wow.
And it's been very successful for her as well. But and for me as well, I always get new ideas on for the business, just being very different from the crowd.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because if you think about it, creatives, and I'm talking about the mainstream regards as creatives, so your painters, your artists, musicians, that kind of thing. They go out of their way to chill,
Exactly.
to be easy, and that makes a lot of sense if you think about it that way, because that's the space where creativity can flow and they can create and they can,
Yes.
So that does make a lot of sense. Oh.
And then we can get to the morning routine just now, but that's exactly one of the big points and advantages of having an early morning ritual, because everybody's awake. If you have kids, a family like me, I've got two boys, two busy boys. If you don't take a time in the day and only real time is in the morning to reflect about various things and do your morning routines, you don't really get there. You wake up, start rushing, get your boys to school, and you start your day in a massive rush.
That's me. I wake up, look at the clock, and immediately I'm anxious because I need to. I live in Somerset West, so now I need to get to Cape Town for whatever work I need to do there, right? Or I need to go and drive to Durbanville for a meeting or whatever it is. And immediately I'm thinking, oh, I hope there's no accident on the road because that's gonna slow down traffic by diesel. And I just wake up that way, right? And I feel like in the evenings I can't fall asleep early enough because then I'm anxious about not having gotten to everything in the day. So I end up falling asleep at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then up at 7, and that's already too late. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's it. That's the cycle. And before you know it, a week has passed. And before you know it, a month has passed. And you're like, what did I do this month? Like 20% of what I actually wanted to do.
Exactly. And the problem is, our days fall into weeks, our weeks fall into days, and the days fall into a lifetime of either good or bad habits. And we are creatures of habits. So it's you just choose what side you want to go to.
And you know what, Jasper? I feel like so many people experience that and have fallen into that cycle. And I would be the first one to admit that, like I just did now, I'm one of them, right? Because it's so easy to do it. It's so easy to fall into that thing, and it happens to the best of us. But you know what? If you want to really make a change, listeners and viewers, if you really want to make a change, you have to confront and you have to be willing to acknowledge what the problem is, and then confront it, right? And that's why we have Jasper here today. He has walked the walk, he has implemented these things he's talking about, he's seen the fruits, he's still fine-tuning, he's still improving, and he's continuing to see how these things are benefiting him, and I'm excited. Jasper's going to drop some more jewels of knowledge after this, but we're going to take a little bit of a music break. Yeah, enjoy this. This is Blink 182. I've recently met actually an artist, speaking of artists, very talented artist from Canada. She's a street artist, owns a gallery up in Toronto, and she's reminded me of my high school days again with a taste in music. So I'm gonna play some Blink 182 today. So enjoy this, guys. This is what's this one? Wendy Clear. Oh no! I'm Dancing with Myself. Enjoy, guys. We'll be back after the break.